connect the coastal, urban, and rural communities. But it is taking off kung household word na yung bridge to reef from mountain to sea, itong connection between coastal, urban, and rural or agricultural ecosystems is taking off from the center, from the urban. So it's taking off actually from the experience of converting food wastes or kitchen waste to food sufficiency. So for this concept, for our exercise, the scope is 6 barangays in Davao City, so that includes 2 rural or agricultural barangays sa May Marilog area, and that's also where there are also indigenous peoples communities, and then 2 urban barangays and 2 coastal barangays. So the scope, the implementation would involve the household level, and then the thematic area is also covers waste management and sustainable agriculture based on an agroecological framework. So yun. So very simple. The vision is that the kitchen waste or food waste will be used to convert it into organic fertilizer and supply the farmers to address also the increasing chemical-dependent farming or agriculture. And then we hope to develop food sufficiency, meaning enabling communities to produce more in a smaller area through a diversified and integrated farming model, thereby decreasing yung pressure to open more lands or to continue practicing yung mga farming practices na contributing to soil degradation, erosion, yung synthetic chemical farming. And then we look at this concept as climate adaptive because it promotes yung food sufficiency, something that we have already, we are feeling, especially as a lesson from the recent COVID-19 pandemic. Food access and food security, both in the urban areas, but also surprisingly in the rural areas wherein many of the farming communities have become dependent on monocropping. So when our economic system was disrupted sa COVID-19, they also found it difficult to sustain yung food needs. Conservation targets, water resources, because food waste is a common thing in our households, pero it relates or it impacts on a lot of it has a lot of environmental impact. So at the urban setting, nakikita na yung food waste is also a source of water pollution, and then is the source of water pollution. So all water sewage goes to the coastal areas, and so there's parang effect, a downstream effect on water, on the water resources. And then of course the status of the landfills, wherein because of the weak implementation pa rin ng waste segregation, then there is still emission of methane gas, which also poses other environmental issues. And then on the part of the rural, in the rural setting, yung sa agroecological farming, the aim is that through increasing the production, efficient production, food production, we will also be encouraging yung farming communities, especially indigenous communities, to go back to their to farming and planting or growing their indigenous food sources. So we know the other like heritage varieties of rice, corn na nawawala na. So hopefully that will also the project will provide for that farmers will look at conserving their heritage varieties, and then also propagating the herbal and medicinal plants again, this is taking off from the lesson during the pandemic that, you know, the whole food system and our food consumption practices have brought us to this situation wherein we have a lot of health problems and we have a lot of health issues. And then, so the direct threats that we identified, so again, it's the commercial or the consumer-driven food system. So in the agricultural or the farming setting, farmers are pushed to produce monocrop, no? And also to depend on input-heavy agriculture because of the supply demand. While for the urban setting, because we are used to the convenience of processed food, that also results into behavior wherein people throw. There's a lot of food waste. So we have also observed that at times when specific crops drop prices, so yun, ang daming food waste even in the markets, yung mga vegetable waste. And then contributing factors, so non-compliance of policies, improper waste disposal, tapos yung, again, dependence on the synthetic agricultural inputs, monocropping, and then, of course, among the people, or sa household levels, lack of awareness and care doon sa ating, the way that we eat and the way that we dispose of our garbage. And then there are some opportunities for this. So we already have the Republic Act 9003 or the Solid Waste Management Act, RA 11511, which is the revised Organic Agriculture Act. And then what's already there is that we have tested technology on bokashi or organic fertilizer making, and then of course sustainable agriculture technologies. Coming from the COVID-19 pandemic, I think people are still very much aware on the importance of food security and again accessing food. And then there's also an increasing campaign or appreciation for healthy food, and then also for the organically grown crops. So yun lang so far for our people. Thank you.
Okay, Sir Glenn.
Natapos nyo na yung first part ng inyong concept paper. Ito yung background at situation analysis. Kaya lang, may mga reminders ako kasi although nasa right track lahat, marami pa rin parang malaki pa yung room for improvement ako. So, konting reminder lang siguro. Again, itong ating call ay may dalawang colors ng money, di po ba? Biodiversity tsaka sustainable landscapes. So, ang expectation po namin, bubuin yung proposal ay para sa biodiversity tsaka sustainable landscapes. So, ang expectation when you craft your proposals, may explicit o talagang express target on biodiversity tsaka climate change. So, yun po yung unang inaasahan. Tapos pangalawa, yung sa scope natin, yung conservation targets, usually, hinihingi namin pagka ang target mo geographic. Pero pag ang target mo ay species na, okay na yun. Pwede na tayong umpisa doon. Hindi na siya kailangan lagyan ng conservation target. So, again ang target pwede siyang geographic, pwedeng thematic, pwedeng species. Pag geographic ang target nyo, naturally, hanapin, ba't yung gusto yung geographic target na yun? Anong meron doon? What's so special in the target that you want to protect it, conserve it?